So the agenda is going to be we are going to discuss why Python is more popular and what are the features we have for the Python, what we have in the course content, and how this is going to work. So these are some basics of things we are going to cover in this today session. So let me start with a basic. Let me introduce myself first. As I told, my name is Amit, and I have around 10 plus years of experience in Python. I'm working as a data scientist in a reputed company, and part-time giving trainings for data science, machine learning, and Python automation in Saturday or Sunday. So that's brief introduction about myself. Let me start. So why Python is more popular nowadays? Why everyone is talking about the Python, and why, if you will see in any, you can say, any particular industry or any particular people who is working, they are using Python somehow. So there are some couple of things. The reason of widely using Python programming language is the first reason, it's simplicity. You can say Python is more easier than any other language right now we have, rather than C, C++, or any other programming. The one who is not from programming background, the one who is not from even technical programming background, and even not from non-technical person also, either you are from any other background also, you can also learn Python without having any pre-programming knowledge. Means if suppose I'm the one who is learning first time programming language, then also I can learn Python programming. This is the first reason why Python is more popular. You know that the data science and machine learning is the most popular technology right now we have. To learn machine learning or data science or either AI, we must need to have one programming language. That can be Python, can be SAS, or can be R programming also. But if you will see, most of the people are searching for Python programming. Why? Because Python is easier than learn any other programming language. So many people are from non-technical background. So some you will find that they are from MBA, they are from any other field also. They are looking for the data science right now. They want to make their career in data science. They are learning Python because Python is more easier. This is the reason. And why we can say Python is more easier? What is the reason that on the basis of you are saying that Python is more easier than any other programming language? So there are two things on the basis of which we can say this programming is easy. The first one is the syntax. The syntax which you are writing, is that easy to understand or not? So Python programming syntax is very easy. Anyone can understand that easily. This is the one reason. Second reason is how much code you are writing. Suppose to solve a particular problem in Python programming, I am writing 2 lines of code. To solve the same problem, I am writing suppose 4 or 5 lines of code in a different language. I can say I am writing less code in Python programming. That's why we can say Python is easier than any other language. So there are two things on the basis of which we can specify Python is easy or not. The first one is the syntax. The Python syntax is easier than any other language in the concept of learning or in the concept of readability also. The second thing is we have to write the less code here instead of any other programming language. This is the 2 points on the basis of which we can say Python is easier. Second thing is the versatility. We can use Python is in multiple fields. Like you can use Python in data science and machine learning. It is the most commonly used programming language right now, which people are using in data science and machine learning. Even I am as a data scientist using Python in my projects and in my industry. In web development also we are using Python instead of PHP. Now people are preferring to work with Python, you can say, to develop
You can
websites.
say to
Why?
develop websites. Why?
Please mute yourself.
Please
My
mute
voice is
yourself.
echoing.
My voice is echoing.
I will request please mute. Okay, thank you. So web development also can be done using Python. People are preferring Python to develop website. Why? Because it is again easy to implement. You can say it is providing multiple supportive web development tools like Django, like Flask, Fast API. You can easily implement them. So there are multiple websites available. The Dropbox, NASA, Instagram, they are built in Python and we are using them. So Python is more popular for the web development as well. So after learning Python, you can choose your career as a data scientist, as a machine learning engineer, as a data analyst, or you can go definitely for the web development also. People are using Python for automation and scripting as well. So Python is not a just programming language. We can use this as a scripting language also to automate our daily tasks. Suppose I am working as a system admin, suppose I'm working as a cloud engineer, or I'm working suppose as a DevOps engineer. I have some tasks which I need to automate. Suppose um, you can say kind of doing containerization, kind of doing suppose automating my infrastructure, or suppose automating my manual task which I'm doing daily, or writing the CI/CD pipeline. All those things also I can definitely do using the Python. So those tasks which we are doing, or you can say automating using the Bash script or any other script, we can automate using the Python script as well. Now, the question is why Python if I already have Bash scripting? Bash scripting is a platform dependent technology. Think about there is a scenario you are working in an infrastructure, and in that infrastructure you have Linux server and Windows server as well. If you know Bash scripting, then you will be only able to automate your Linux servers, not the Windows server. But by using Python, the same script will be able to automate your Linux servers as well and your Windows as well. So this is a platform independent technology which can run same project or same program or same script can run on Windows and Linux as well. This is the another feature of Python by which make it more popular. So we can use Python for the automation purpose as well. People are using in networking, system admin, cloud, DevOps, everywhere people are using Python as a scripting to automate their services. The next one is the game development. We can develop game using the Python. Means what I'm trying to explain, after learning Python, where you can go. You can go for data science, machine learning. You can go for the web development. You can automate your daily task using the Python. You can use this as a scripting language, and even you can develop the games as well. There are multiple libraries provided by Python by which we can develop games. Like PyGames is the one of the most popular library which provided by the Python by which we can develop games. Artificial intelligence, where also people are using Python, like natural language processing, NLP, deep learning. There are multiple supportive library for the NLP and deep learning we have in industry, like NLTK, TensorFlow, Keras, PyTorch. They are most supportive libraries for the Python in terms of artificial intelligence. So after data science and machine learning, you can definitely go for the AI, and with the Python itself, you will be able to complete that. You will be able to see that people are using Python for the robotics as well. There are many supportive libraries like Raspberry API, robotics library. There are multiple supportive libraries we have here by which we can go for the robotics. So the one who know the Python can go in data science, machine learning, can go in the web development, can go in the automating their daily stuff tasks, and can go for the game development, can go for the artificial intelligence and robotics. So if I know the Python, I have multiple, you can say, way there I can choose my career, and I can definitely build that. So this is the reason why Python is more popular. I am using Python to, you can say, as a data scientist to create data science project. And even in my data science project, we have to automate some of the tasks, like requesting some APIs, loading the data, and you can say automating the log checking, or you can say automating the task by which I'm just checking whether a particular job is run successfully or not, to monitor that. So those kind of things also.
So those kind of things also.
Please mute.
Please
This is
mute.
echoing.
This is echoing.
Demi Junior, please mute. Thank you. So I'm using Python to automate my daily manual task, like reading the logs, like checking my, you can say, jobs, whether they run successfully this week or not. If there is any failure, I will get a mail automatically. Those kind of things also I'm doing with the help of Python. And you know that there are some data science project, they have some web development task also, that is an entire data science project or machine learning project. So your Python itself will be able to fulfill your all the requirement. You will be able to create the web development with the Python itself. You will be able to clean your data with itself Python. You will be able to build your data science and machine learning model with the Python itself. So you do not need to learn any extra programming language once you have the idea of Python. So these are the, you can say, fields where we can go after learning the Python. And Python is easier, as I told in the beginning. It is open source technology, and it is a platform independent technology. Platform independent means, as I told, suppose there is a scenario where you have multiple platforms to run your program or to your project. You do not need to modify anything. The same program can run on Windows and can run on Linux as well. So that is another feature of Python which we can definitely use. And another thing is, you can say, Python is from last many years. This is the language of year. You can search on Google about that. It is the language of year from last many years, and the most trust programming language as well. Um, and you will be able to find in India now in 11th and 12th standard, instead of giving the training for C and C++ programming, nowadays schools are providing Python programming language knowledge in their courses to the students. That make it more popular. The community is more than any other programming language. This is the golden time to learn the Python. That I will definitely share. So let me show you what are the topics which we have in this course content. Now the first thing is this course content is not designed for any specific, only specific use case, that this course is designed for the web development only, or for the data science only. This is a complete course content. After learning this course content, you can go for the machine learning, you can go further for data science. You can definitely move after learning this in the web development or software development or in the game development or in AI or robotics or even in the scripting as well. So this is a complete course content which will cover all the basic concept and the advanced concept on also, not only the basics of Python. That's how we designed this. And after learning this, you can prefer any particular field there your interest is. So it will start with the introduction part. There we will discuss the history and versions of the Python. So what is the history? Um, Let me give you a little bit idea of that right now. So Python was introduced in 1991 by Gideon Ressam, and there are three versions we have for the Python: Python 1, 2, and 3. Python was introduced in 1994. It's not available right now. Python 2 was introduced in 2000, and Python 3 was introduced in 2008. Python 2 is also people are not using right now, but there is a last version we have for the Python 2 is Python 2.7, which is the last version. Even you can find it on the official website as well. nowadays people are using Python 3, not Python 2, and the latest version for the Python 3 is Python 3.12, which is a stable version right now we have. And in industry, everyone is using Python 3, not the Python 2. So there is a little difference in between Python 2 and Python 3. Python 2 syntax is a little different, and Python 3 syntax is little different actually. So when they introduced Python 3 after Python 2, they changed the syntax and some of the functionality of Python. That's why I'm focusing more on Python 2 and Python 3. You must need to be clear that we have to learn Python 3, not the Python 2, because we are not using right now Python 2 in industry. And even the syntax of Python 2 is different than the Python 3. For an example, if I will show you on my any, let me open a editor just to show you one example. So this was the example to print hello on a screen, and this is the example of Python 2. But nowadays, this is the example of Python 3 just to print hello. So you can see the difference even in print statement as well. This was the command in Python 2, and now this is a function in Python 3. So that's why I'm saying there is a difference in Python 2 and Python 3. We must need to be clear that we are going to learn Python 3, not the Python 2. So we are going to cover the history and versions, the features. As I told, Python is a simple language. It is open source. Okay, it is portable, high-level programming language, object-oriented. It support object-oriented. It is a interpreted programming language, easy to maintain. So these all are the features we are going to discuss. The introduction to script. So whenever you will find anyone who is not from programming background and is looking for the scripting language to automate their daily stuff tasks, so that student or person can have a question whether Python is a programming language or a scripting language. So you must need to be clear whether Python is a programming or a scripting. So what is the difference between programming language or scripting language, and what are the similarities we have? So that's why I included this particular topic here. Now, as I told in the beginning, to learn this course, there is no prerequisite. If you are learning even the programming first time, you never learn any programming before this, you will be able to learn this without any difficulty. Why? Because there is no prerequisite. So that's why we are going to cover those basic things also, like programming prerequisite. Those you will not be able to find somewhere else, like the data types, variables. These are the prerequisite we have for the Python, like the operators, what are the operators we have and how we use them, all these things. Now from here, your practical things will start. Now, if else, by which we can take the decision. And looping concept, there are two loops we have in Python, for loop and while loop, by which we can perform repetitive tasks. The break continue statements, by which we can control our loops, how we are going to do that, how we will take the input from the user and how we will print it, all these things. Typecasting, what is typecasting, how we will do that, and why it is required in Python, that we are going to cover. How we will work with the mathematical functions. String, there are multiple methods provided by string by which we manipulate our outputs, or you can say format our outputs. So they definitely important. What is a string, how to perform operation on a string, what are the methods we have. Then we have the data structures of Python. So like other programming language, Python does not have array data structures. Why we don't have, we'll discuss when we will start learning this. But we have other data structures which can be used instead of array. So the most popular data structure is list, tuple, dictionary, and set. So we have all these data structures. Python does not support array directly. Python support array by using one module. What is the reason why it doesn't support array directly? Why support using a module? These all things we will discuss. And even we will not use, even I'm not using, and you will not use later on in industry array directly. So if you are working as a data scientist or machine learning engineer, then you are going to use NumPy array, which is a different thing. Those array we will not, we normally not used in industry. So what is the reason of this? We'll discuss when we will learn that topic particular. So we have then okay, this is repeated topic, but it's actually a date and time topic. So how we will work with the dates, how we will modify dates, how we will get the current time, how we will get the two date difference, how we will format the date according to the requirement, how we can format the date to a particular timestamp, or you can say to a particular region or to a particular format. Like if I want to format my current date in UTC format, how I can do that. So those kind of operations which we will perform in this particular topic. Functions, what is the use of function, how to define functions, how to call functions, these all things, and how many types of arguments we have in function, these all things we definitely will cover. Now there is a concept with the name as module. If you are going to learn Python, and if you will ask to someone who already know the Python, will suggest you that please learn module as well, because module is the most important topic of Python. What exactly is the module, how we can create our own module, and how we can install the third party module, and how we import the modules. These are some of the important things which we need to understand in the module concept. So now, after this, your advanced Python topics will start, like file handling. Not only work with the text file, how we will read the CSV file as well, XML file, JSON file, PDF file, Excel file. If you are working, suppose on YAML file, how to read that YAML file, all these kind of operations, how to create a directory, how to get the last modified time of file, and how to get the size of the file, how to copy and move files and directory, how to remove a file, how to rename a file. There are multiple operations which we perform in this particular concept, which we used in our uh, daily industry. Exception handling, suppose your program is running and because of any abnormal condition, your program is terminated. How you are going to handle the termination? And that we can do with the help of exception handling. So exception handling will let you know that if you are getting an exception, if any abnormal condition you are going to get in the running of your program, how you are going to handle that. So that also we have object oriented programming. Python support OOPS as well. So if you know that, and if you don't know, if you are going to uh, develop website, then you must need to work with the object oriented concept tool. So we have the object oriented programming concept, what is class and object, on which principles our OOPS work, all these things we have. Now there is a concept with the name as multi-threading. Multi-threading, by which we can get the concurrency in programming. If suppose um, I have a program which is working, which is not doing any multitasking. Suppose, for an example, you can understand. Suppose I have 10 Linux servers, okay, or it can be any other scenario also. Suppose I have 10 Linux server and I have write a simple Python program, which is doing some automation kind of thing on those servers. So if I will run my program, it will go to the first server. Suppose it is taking 10 minutes, then it will go second, then third, then fourth, and that's how it will keep going one by one. But by using multi-threading or multitasking, I can run that same program on 10 server parallelly, which will save my time. And even if I want to get the multitasking, or if I want to achieve the multitasking in my program, I can definitely use the multi-threading. If I want to do some parallel jobs in my program, that I can achieve with the help of multi-threading. Mail sending, the trigger mails, as I told, we just like in my case, I'm automating the one task which is checking my daily jobs, whether a particular job runs successfully or not today. If it will fail, it will send a trigger mail to me, whether this is failed or successful. So in Python, we have mail sending program as well. You can send text mail, you can send HTML mail as well, and you can include the files If suppose your jobs failed and you want to include your logs file with the mail, you want to test that, and you want to then send that mail to a particular team or to a particular AD group, that you can definitely do. Regular expression is the most interesting topic as well, by which we can write the patterns in programming. If suppose on the basis of pattern you are searching for some data and you are searching for the logs, like you see in the Google form. So any Google form, when you are trying to fill up, there will be some input box. In that input box there will be some regular expression, or there will be some pattern which you have to follow. Like for password, there is a pattern you need to follow. That password must need to start with a capital character, it must need to contain one digit or one symbol, like that. So how we are going to implement that? With the help of regular expression. If suppose there is a log, you have in that log, you are saying that I am looking for a log which start with that particular character or ending with that particular character. For such type of scenarios, we can use the regular expression. Database connectivity also we have, how we can connect with the different databases. Python database connectivity is more easier than any other programming, because it is, you can say, universal. Whether you are connecting with Oracle database, SQL Server database, MySQL database, PostgreSQL, any database you are connecting, the programming is going to be same for every database connectivity. That's why I'm using the word as universal. So we will see how we can connect with the different databases and how we can execute the queries. Now, this is something which will give you the idea how we can create client and server and how we can communicate them. The TCP client and server and the UDP client and server, how we can transfer data from client to server and server to client. That is something also we have. This is called as socket programming in Python. Socket is nothing but the endpoint which will give you how you can communicate from one device to another device. So this is something which will give you the idea how we create server, how we create clients, and how they communicate, and how we can send data from client to server and server to client. That all we will see here. In Python, there is a inbuilt GUI, graphical user interface, but this GUI is something which will execute on desktop. So there are two types of GUI: web-based application and desktop-based application. The application web-based, which we are accessing from website, and the desktop-based application which we are running on a desktop or accessing from a desktop, and that need to be installed on each desktop. So the web application will be, the GUI will be created using HTML and CSS. Is a different thing, but this GUI is will be provided by Python itself. You can create an application which can run on a desktop, not on a web. So any application you can see, like this Atom, this Safari, this Anaconda, or Zoom, or any other application, these all are desktop based applications. They are not web application. You have to install them on your desktop and then you will be able to access. So any such type of application also can be created using the Python GUI. This is something, one task which is comes in under automation. Um, Web scraping will be used in some couple of scenarios where you are working as a data scientist, machine learning, or you can say data analyst. There is some data, suppose in a scenario, available on a website, not in CSV file, not in Excel file, or not in database. The data is available on a website, and you want to, suppose, work on that data. How you are going to scrap that data? That we can do with the help of web scraping. Web scraping is a technology which is used to scrap the data from a website. Like many websites in real time now using the web scrap as well. For an example, there is a website which will give you the policies from many websites which they are providing, and will scrap the data, real time data, and will show that this website is providing the same policy in this amount, this website is providing the same policy in this amount, and that's how you will be able to compare these all policies on a single website. How they are extracting that real-time data set at the runtime that they are performing with the help of web scraping. So such type of application also using web scraping in the real time. Okay, now this is something which will be helpful for those people who is looking for automating their daily stuff task. Like if suppose I'm a Linux admin or suppose I'm a Window admin person, and I'm looking Python as a scripting language, and I want to automate my some of the tasks which I am automating by using any other programming, but now I want to do that with the help of Python. How I can do that? So there are some modules Python provide by which we can integrate the Linux command or window command in Python itself. So that also we have OS module, we have subprocess module by which we can execute um, Linux commands or Windows command, and we can integrate them with the Python. If you are working as a developer and you are developing your code, you must need to create the test cases for your code as well. There are two types of testing: integration testing and unit testing. So the developers are responsible for unit testing, not for the integration testing. You have to create the test cases for your code, and then you will submit your code and the test cases as well. The code which I have created, I have tested everything in my code, and these are the test cases and these are the results you can see. So you are going to give your code as well, you are going to give your test cases as well, and you are going to give the results as well of your test cases. That when I am giving the correct parameter, how my program is reacting. When I'm giving the wrong parameter, how my program is reacting. All these tests you have to create, and the results also you have to submit it to your you can say team or the client for which you are creating that program or project or script. So in Python there is a concept by which we create uh, testing test cases or test results, that is called as PyUnit. There is a module we have, and how we do that, it's a different thing. These are some small things which also we have: garbage collection, how Python will be automatically handle their memory, how we can handle the Python packages like module, how we can install, uninstall. There is a pip command by which we do that. Logging and debugging, how we can write the logs using the Python. Logs are very important. Suppose you are working and you created a program and that program is deployed in the production. Now, next morning you find that the program which you deployed on the production is failed. Now, how you will be able to identify that, and how you are going to figure out that what was the root cause which failed your program if you do not have any logging for your program. So, suppose if you do not have the logging, it will be typical for you to find out, and it will be very time consuming as well. So that's why for every program, we definitely write the logs as well. Every program which we are learning. So whenever a program will fail in the production, you can check the logs and you can find out what was the issue, and that root cause and issue you will be able to see in your logs. So how we can write those logs, which will be able to you can say help me to debug my code later on whenever my code will fail in the production. So that also we have. There is a logging module we have in Python by which we can do that. Debugging, how we can debug our code, that also we have in Python. These are some modules which will help you to proceed in data science and machine learning, like the NumPy. NumPy is a numerical Python library which is supportive in data science, machine learning, or data analytics, or even in AI. So after Python, if suppose you decided to go for data science, machine learning, or AI anywhere, then NumPy and Pandas is going to be the first library which you have to learn. NumPy will give you the mathematical functions by which you will perform mathematical operations on your data. And Pandas will give you the ability to manipulate your data. If suppose you want to filter your data, you want to group your data, you want to rename some columns, um, if suppose you want to merge your data, you want to remove a column, you want to add a column, all those manipulation tasks you can perform using the Pandas. Python, then is going to be the most commonly used library for you if you are working as a data scientist, machine learning engineer, or either in AI anywhere. So these all are the topics which we have, and as you can see, this is not specific to data science, not specific to web development, not specific to any particular you can say area of Python. This is the entire course content, which will cover your basic topics as well and the advanced topic as well. And after this learning, you can decide whether you want to go for automation, whether you want to go for machine learning, whether you want to go for data science, or for web development, or for game development. You can definitely proceed after this. Okay, so now I will stop myself and will be open for the questions. And you guys can ask one by one question if you have, definitely, and we can discuss about that. Any question if you have related to the content and related to anything, feel free to discuss with me. Okay, if no question, then
Hello?
we are done. Yeah.
Then we are done.
Hello?
Yes.
Yes.
Please, can I ask this question?
Yeah,
Is there
you
any
can ask.
collaboration between the
you can ask.
MATLAB and Python? Hello?
Yeah, you are audible. Just hold on.
You are audible. Just hold on.
Is there any collaboration between MATLAB and Python?
So MATLAB is basically used
So MATLAB
to.
is basically used to.
My voice is echoing. Please,
My voice
I'm
is
giving your answer.
I'm giving your answer.
Hello.
Hello.
Please
Hello?
mute. Yeah, please mute.
Is
My
there
voice
any
is.
collaboration
Yeah, I am replying
between
to your.
MATLAB
I'm replying to your question.
and Python? Is there any collaboration between MATLAB and Python? Is there any collaboration between MATLAB and Python?
Please mute so I can reply your question.
So I can reply your question.
Hello? Hello?
Hello, you are audible. Please mute yourself because my voice is echoing. Okay, thank you so much. I'm replying now. So MATLAB is used for the math work, okay? There is no collaboration, but you can use definitely some of the modules which we have in Python like NumPy, SciPy, Pandas, they provide all of these functionalities. So most of the functionalities which you have in MATLAB, you will find them in the Python as well, like data visualization kind of thing, or you can say mathematical kind of thing. All will be able to you will be able to find in Python.
Hello? This is another question.
Yeah.
What is the simplest command you're supposed to understand before you can learn Python?
Sorry, I do not get this.
Sorry, I do not get this. Please.
What I'm saying is that what are the simplest commands you're supposed to know before you can learn Python properly?
There is no command you need to
There is
know
no command you
without
need to know
any
without any
pre-knowledge, you can learn Python.
pre-knowledge, you
Yes, Gopal.
Or you will cover that is completely real time end to end like project each and everything you will cover, right?
Yeah.
Hello?
Yes, we will cover Gopal.
Okay, that is the completely Linux environment, the application will run over Linux environment, right?
So it depend on the requirement, Gopal. So if it depend on how many students we have for that particular field. If the suppose we are looking for a kind of such example, we can definitely. If there is a example we are looking for, you can say cloud type kind of example or any other example, we can definitely include them. As I told, this can be used in any field. So even I don't know what is your exact requirement, but we can definitely include that and we can take some real-time examples for that.
This is the duration like around 4 months or something like.
In weekend, it will take around 3 months with the completion with the project because and the end of project it is going to take some 2 to 3 weeks and will take around this 2.5 and 2 months around to complete this course content, and after that covering those automation tasks and the projects kind of things will take again half an of the month. So in weekend it will take around 3 months we can consider.
3 weeks, okay. Thank you.
Okay, thank you so much everyone for joining us for today. Thank you very much. Have a good day and good evening. Bye bye.
Yeah, this side. What is your face structure?
Which face structure?
Hello.
Yeah.
Yeah, Amit, just open the last page of PPT.
Okay.
So, guys, those have any information regarding fee and schedule of batch and the duration, you can reach out on these numbers. Take the screenshot and you can reach out this with our team.
Okay.
Okay?
Yeah.
Okay. Thanks to all. Thanks, Amit. Thanks, Deepak.
Thank you. Bye.
Bye.